Her voice was trembling with emotion, describing the moment her husband was shot.
I saw him put the gun to Dustin's head, and I heard bang, bang, and then the window shattered of the car. And then, like in slow motion, it played out.
Jamie Friedland's testimony recalled the couple's visit to the Short Hills Mall on December 15th of 2013. They went to get a new computer and have dinner to celebrate their anniversary and the purchase of a new condo. What had been described as a good day ended up so tragically.
And I saw Justin laying there in a pool of blood, and I ran over to him.
Jamie Friedland says it took half an hour for help to arrive, and the ambulance was too big to make it to the parking deck where her husband was bleeding to death from the gunshot wound to the head. Suspect Wasim Henry is on trial for the murder and carjacking. He apparently drove the getaway car to the mall, searching for a Range Rover that he and 3 other suspects were planning to steal. Henry is the first of those suspects to stand trial. And when Jamie Friedland walked out of the courtroom, you could hear her crying out in the hallway. Her family that was in the court rushing outside to comfort her at the time. Her testimony is over for right now, but the other 3 suspects still have to go on trial, and we could hear from her at least 3 more times. That's the latest live from Newark, New Jersey. Anthony Johnson, Channel 7. Eyewitness News.
Okay, Anthony, thank you. We are following a developing story in Midtown where falling ice injured one person. It happened on 48th Street near 5th Avenue. Eyewitness News reporter Stacey Sager is on the scene. Stacey.
Well, you know, Joe, this is something we all have to be pretty concerned about in a vertical city like New York, especially after a big storm such as the one that we had yesterday. We are at 32 West 48th Street. Up here, the roof of this building, it's all fixed now because the fire department was just here a short time ago. But it was a big problem earlier today, and in fact, it has been a problem in the past. Check this out. Authorities tell us it was at around 1:45 this afternoon. A chunk of this ice, it came down. It hit a man in the head. The fire department was here throughout the day, attending to the man, taking him to the hospital, even taking care of the ice. The chunk of ice even broke the R in the sign here. The sidewalk, too, out in front of this building is not much better, so it's really a dual problem with people slipping and sliding, often walking right through police tape when these things happen. Now, we thought this all sounded very familiar, and we were right. It seems this exact building had the same exact problem 3 years ago, and we were here to cover it back then. Another person struck in the head with falling ice. He was treated for head trauma right in the very same spot. He was standing out on the sidewalk right beneath 32 West 48th Street at the time. He was struck in the head, same exact spot. In fact, you know, the minute we got here, we realized we had covered it back then, and we realized this is obviously a problem spot, and people have to be very careful when they are walking on the street and the freezing cold temperatures the day after a storm such as this one. Obviously, today's injuries were less severe than 3 years ago, but the pedestrian was transported to New York Hospital with minor injuries to his head. We are live in Midtown. I'm Stacey Sager, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, thanks, Stacey. Also developing right now, police are looking for the suspect who stabbed a man on a number 6 subway train. This happened earlier this afternoon at the Pelham Bay station. There was a dispute in the first car of the train immediately before the stabbing. The victim was stabbed in the head, back, and stomach. He's been taken to the hospital.
Now to the cleanup after yesterday's nor'easter, and there were so many scenes just like this one playing out across the tri-state area, people clearing their driveways and sidewalks. The good news for drivers in New York City, alternate side of the street parking is now suspended through Saturday, but you still have to pay the meters. On the rails, New Jersey Transit added extra trains for the evening commute after it was standing room only this morning. Our coverage begins with Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett in Sunnyside, Queens. NJ.
That's right, Joe. If only there was sunshine in Sunnyside, Queens. That and warmer temperatures, and people wouldn't have to deal with all of this. But the fact is, winter is not going away quietly, and the snow is not going away easily. A standoff in the middle of 59th Street. What was once a two-way street in Woodside is now a one-way street in both directions. Jason Gomez was making a delivery to the corner grocery.
I tried to wave her off that she couldn't make it through. She decided to try and come through anyway, and then she didn't want to back out.
Crisis averted by a diplomatic sanitation supervisor who persuaded the driver of the car to pull off the street.
Yeah, go face forward that way.
I guess a lot of people don't really know what to do in this sort of situation.
Queens roared back to life today after being blanketed with snow. And residents are coming up with creative solutions to newfound problems, like crossing the street or driving the streets, where car after car after car is frozen solid, waiting for someone in the neighborhood with a jackhammer. And there was no rushing during morning rush hour in Jackson Heights, where vast sections of the elevated platforms on the 7 line were snow-covered and caked with ice. We saw the elderly and women and children standing on the ice within inches of the platform's edge, where the slightest slip could put them face to face with an oncoming train. This little boy slips twice after stepping off the icy platform. Some riders were forgiving. Others said they deserve better.
This shows a lack of concern for the rider.
A spokesman for the MTA tonight tells me that now more than 75% of the elevated platforms have been thoroughly cleared. They're asking riders to be patient and to be extremely careful. Based on what we saw today, that's good advice. Live tonight, Sunnyside, Queens. NJ Burkett, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
NJ, thank you. Authorities connected 2 deaths in New York to the snowstorm. 47-year-old Edward Wilkinson was shoveling the home on Staten Island that he shared with his parents when he apparently suffered a heart attack. And in Orange County, a 38-year-old man collapsed while using his snowblower. He died at the hospital.
Both so young. 20.3 inches of snow. That's how much they got in Vernon, New Jersey. Crews worked an 18-hour day just to get those roads cleared, and one plow had a tough time. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Charlesworth showed us the plow live on Facebook. She's joining us live now from Vernon with more. Michelle?
Wow, and you're about to see that giant snowplow, dovetail, slide out of control going down that unplowed road. It's really tough up here. Neighbors are still snowed in. A lot of roads are still waiting for more treatment. This is a town, though, that's seen some budget cuts. They've cut personnel, and then this storm took out almost a third of its snowplow fleet. And then the snow came 20.3 inches, so this was extremely tough to deal with. Look at this road completely untouched. Yes, this is a road straight downhill. Watch as the plow truck dovetails. It slides back and to the left. And then minutes later, it actually got stuck completely. We heard it on the radio.
It's a lot of wear and tear on the vehicles. We might have a vehicle with 70,000 miles, but that's going up and down to 1,800 feet and back down to maybe 800 feet.
Perry Shortway, Vernon's mayor, says they are as lean as they can be.
Through attrition, we've reduced our manpower, but we hired part-timers because it's the benefits that cost so much. And actually, some of the part-timers we hired are now quitting.
The Public Works Director, Ed Babcock, says it's different out here, and this was a different storm.
We're using some part-time help, but you always have issues with us because you stick them into a new route. They don't know the route, so there's roads that get forgotten.
Vernon has fewer workers to plow these up and down roads, and now this 20-inch snowfall has done a number on almost 1/3 of their plow fleet. It is also very tough for people who live here and cannot get out at all. This woman was screaming for the plows to finish her street.
Are you going to be plowing the rest of the street? I can't get out. I have somewhere I have to go.
We're not going to take a chance on someone's safety. I know people have to get to work. I understand that. However, people's safety comes first.
People, they know that everybody's out there. They're waiting for those second, third passes to come, sometimes first passes on these roads. 1,800 feet high, 68 square miles out here in Vernon, New Jersey. They say they are getting to you. Please let your town know if the plows have not come through yet. They're getting there one road at a time. We're live in Vernon, New Jersey tonight. Michelle Charlesworth, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Along the Jersey Shore, Officials in Toms River say beach erosion from the storm, they say it was minimal. Take a look at this picture from Ortley Beach. About 10% of the sand dunes were washed away. Emergency officials say they believe a sandbar and the direction of the wind actually helped prevent more erosion. The sandbar makes waves break sooner so that it doesn't impact the dunes as much.
You might remember this. The last snowstorm led to chaos at LaGuardia because of all the flight cancellations. Well, this time, the airport offered free Q70 bus service all week to reduce potential traffic congestion. The airlines are now rebooking thousands of passengers after yesterday's cancellations, but the skies still are not completely clear. According to FlightAware, airlines canceled more than 200 flights at LaGuardia today.
And we still have a winter weather advisory that's in effect in some areas. We are still dealing with this bitter cold. Meteorologist Lee Goldberg is here with our exclusive AccuWeather forecast for you, Lee.
And you can thank the nor'easter for this because it has a huge wingspan and we're still covered by it in terms of its winds and some snow showers. So winter weather advisories are out for northwest New Jersey. And you know what? I think they should be out for central New Jersey because there's a squall line moving through and right through parts of right near Route 195 down toward Manalapan. You can see there's also a wind advisory central and southern New Jersey. We've seen some wind gusts over 35 miles an hour. They seem to be backing off a little bit, and they will as we go into the evening hours, although it'll still be gusty. But you can clearly see in the AccuTrack sweeping radar, look at that, just south of I-78, Somerset County, but especially Middlesex and Monmouth from New Brunswick and then all the way over to Long Branch, and that's sinking down toward 195. So visibilities go down to maybe a quarter mile in that snow squall, and you can get a quick coating to an inch with that, making roadways very slippery, and that's slowly sinking off to the south. Northward, there's a couple of flurries as well as a gusty snow shower that's not too far from Stamford and Norwalk, and that's going to go over to the north shore of Long Island. And you can see the storm system. It's still spinning over Maine, and there's a huge cloud shield with it and lots of snow showers as well. George Washington Bridge, not so bad. Visibility's okay north of the city, although I just got a message on Facebook that we have some flurries in the Bronx. 25 degrees right now. If you are headed out this evening, all of the layers. Right now, the wind chill's 13. It'll be 24 at about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, and the snow showers will wither away unless you're in the Catskills. Have to watch out for the slippery roads and sidewalks. Diana and Joe, keep your head up as well, as we heard from Stacy, for the falling ice. And if you want to see all of the snow totals across the area, we did it state by state and a close-up on New York City as well. It's all on ABC-7NY, and I just posted that as well. We'll be in for the 7-day AccuWeather forecast. I know you want to know about the pattern and when we warm up, and we have some insight to that. I'll come inside for that forecast in a minute. Guys, back to you for now.
We want to know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lee. And remember, you can get Lee's forecast at your fingertips any time of the day. Just download our free ABC-7NY News app.
A Pennsylvania judge dropped all the criminal charges against former Jet star Darrelle Revis. The four-time All-Pro had been charged with aggravated assault and other counts stemming from a fight with two men in Pittsburgh last month. A childhood friend told the judge he was the one who threw the blows that left the men knocked out. The Jets released Revis shortly after the fight.
A bitterly cold day to fight a fire. Still ahead, the uphill battle that firefighters had on their hands when they fought this deadly fire in Yonkers.
Plus, new information following President Trump's claim that he was wiretapped during the election.
And imagine Angelina Jolie is your teacher.
Okay, I will.
We're going to tell you where students will soon be calling her professor.
Diner in Brooklyn.
Who's hungry?
Look at you. You guys are so fun.
I trust you guys for giving me the news straight.
When I travel, I actually miss you guys. You make me feel good in the morning.
Add some kick to your coffee with Eyewitness News this morning on Channel 7.
My $3.99 Bliss Pillow Top Queen mattress set means you get to spend less time thinking about what to spend on a mattress and more time inventing comfy sleep positions. Find your favorite position for less only at My Bob's Discount Furniture.
Count on them every day to connect, to perform, to share. And when they need to be replaced, folks count on Mavis Discount Tire to get low prices on the largest selection of tires. Because you never know when the money you save on tires can turn into a game-changing memory. Mavis Discount Tire, saving people money for over 50 years.
Don't miss Verdi's timeless tragedy. La Traviata returns to the Metropolitan Opera. Tickets at metopera.org.
Wow, that's a Chevy?
The most awarded lineup in the industry has people at a loss for words. Well, almost.
Oh, wow. The pedal scoop?
Wow. Are you kidding me? I could go test drive one right now.
Wow. This is it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Experience the wow factor. Take home an award-winning Chevy today.
Current select qualified competitive lessees can get this Chevy Equinox for around $130 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
My Summit Dining Room, only $5.99. Stylish wire brush finish and removable leaf. Choose the table and 6 chairs or table, 4 chairs and bench with storage in regular or pub height. $5.99 any way you like it. Only at My Bob's Discount Furniture.
20,000 runners race through the heart of Times Square. Join ABC7 for the United Airlines NYC Half and Youth Run. The Eyewitness News team takes you on a thrill ride, Central Park to Wall Street live on Channel 7. The NYC Half, Sunday starting at 7 a.m. Sponsored by Mazda. Driving matters.
Still no evidence backing up President Trump's claim that he was wiretapped during the election and calls by some of his fellow Republicans for a retraction. Also today, a leak of some of the president's tax returns. The question tonight, just who leaked them? Eyewitness News political reporter Dave Evans here with the latest. Dave.
Dinah, as you know, outside Detroit today, the president said he would re-examine federal rules on fuel efficiency, keeping his promise to go after Obama-era regulations on the environment. But while that's what President Trump was focused on, much of Washington today, a buzz over fallout from Trump's tweet a couple of weeks ago claiming Obama wiretapped his building. And as Trump says, Obama is a bad guy because of it. In Michigan today, the president never mentioned his allegation that Barack Obama wiretapped Trump Tower during the campaign. But earlier today, Democratic and Republican House officials investigating that claim said there's absolutely no evidence it ever happened.
I don't think there was an actual tap of Trump Tower.
I see no evidence that supports the claim that President Trump made that his predecessor had wiretapped he and his associates at Trump Tower.
Even Trump's top law enforcement official today said he has no evidence Obama ever spied on Trump.
Look, the answer is no.
And Democrats are demanding that the president apologize to his predecessor. It's doubtful that will ever happen.
What we are talking about is further validation of the fact that we have a president who has absolutely no concern for and understanding of the repercussions of what he does. And that is an extremely dangerous person to have in the White House.
Today's development comes after 2 pages of Trump's 2005 tax return surfaced last night. It shows he made $153 million that year, paid $38 million in taxes, with a tax rate of just 25%, lower than many of us because he had such a huge $103 million loss that year. The documents were obtained by an independent journalist who told MSNBC he got them in the mail. Today, Trump angrily tweeted, "Does anybody really believe that a reporter nobody ever heard of went to his mail and found my tax returns? Fake news." Also today, there is growing consensus the health care law is going to have to be rewritten or it will not get approved in the Senate. Tonight, the president holds another campaign-style rally. This one is going to be in Nashville. Diane and Joe?
Thanks, Dave. New details involving a fatal police shooting in New Jersey. Police say 56-year-old Christopher Apostolos was shot and killed during an altercation with 2 police officers yesterday at an apartment complex in Toms River. Officers say they were at the home to follow up on a report that Apostolos needed mental health services. No other injuries reported in the incident. Prosecutors say the investigation is ongoing.
About 40 suspected gang members busted for allegedly drug dealing in the Bronx. Both the NYPD and Homeland Security investigators made the arrests in a series of raids. Court records show one of the drug deals ended in the 2016 murder of Jose Morales, also known as Benny White. Many of the suspects have prior convictions. We have the names of all 4 dozen suspects listed at ABC-NY, as well as extended video of the arrests. It's our most clicked on story tonight.
And time once again for AccuWeather. 7.5 new inches in Central Park. You know, you think about the storm last month, which gave us 9 inches of snow. And how much more difficult is this amount to remove and to get through? It has a tremendous amount of water in it, making its removal process maybe degree of difficulty of a foot or more. And of course, we got those types of amounts as we made it through the northern suburbs. 25 degrees right now, gusty wind making it feel like teens, and the high only in the mid-20s with a little bit of filtered March sunshine. That's that's really tough to do. Our normals are closer to 50. We're watching this squall line very, very closely. I want to trace it from Monmouth County right now, from Long Branch to Tinton Falls and just north here of Neptune. And if you're headed northward here through Marlborough, I mean, you might want to hold off on your travel if you can, because it's a gusty area of snow showers, reducing visibility and dropping some light accumulations near South Brunswick and off to the northwest near Raritan. It's been snowing in Clinton for a while. I wonder if there's an inch or two on the ground there. So let us know on ABC-7NY if you have any new snow totals. Another snow shower near Norwalk here is going to try to head toward Setauket. We had about 4 1/3 inches there in Setauket yesterday. Across Long Island is about 2 to maybe 6 inches at most. You see the low pressure there over northern New England and all the clouds here and snow showers that are gushing out of the Great Lakes. As the low weakens a little bit and moves to the north, we'll lose the snow showers later on. But all these winds are just carrying in very chilly Arctic air from Hudson Bay, and that's why we're staying so cold for so long. So any snow showers will wind down this evening. They may persist over the Catskills, a little closer to the Great Lakes. So a few snow showers can still come down on those gusty northwest winds. The difference tomorrow, it's still a brisk wind. It's not as gusty. Maybe we're gusting closer to 25 miles an hour. There's more sun tomorrow in mid-30s, so there will be some melting and it'll feel a little bit better. Again, with more melting, some of the slush and some of the icicles, have to be very careful watching and just keeping your head up, see if that doesn't fall off buildings. Meanwhile, brighter but brisk tomorrow, and then that storm moves away. Here comes high pressure off the coast. It's nice and quiet on Friday. We're sort of nestled in between storms. And then this next clipper will be a headache over the upcoming weekend. It'll start Friday night, especially later at night. We might get a mix of some rain or snow showers. Should be fairly light. That'll continue into Saturday, and the question is, does it hang around for Sunday morning and give us a little hit of snow? So clearing and blustery. Wind chills are in the single digits tonight. Snow showers only persist in the Catskills. Got to keep an eye on that squall line over central and southern New Jersey through the early evening. Sun and clouds tomorrow. Brisk and cold, 35, not as harsh as today. And then 24 tomorrow night. Again, the theme is continued cold. So coming up after 5:30, finally calmer by Friday. We'll have more on the snow this weekend. And do we have to wait 10 days for the warmer pattern to really establish itself? I'll have the answer to that after 5:30. Diane and Joe, back to you for now.
Leanna, you've been out.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
It's tough.
Yeah, getting around after this storm, not easy. Coming up on Eyewitness News, we're going to look at how people are navigating those slushy, messy, nasty sidewalks.
Not easy at all. Plus, one of the biggest retail busts in New York history, allegedly run out of a first-floor apartment and run with military-like precision.
Plus, an actress on the offensive. What she has to say tonight about being a victim of so-called revenge porn and who she says is behind it.
Before we go to break, just a reminder, the New York City Half Marathon is this Sunday, and we're taking you mile by mile.
We're the volunteers from the Back on My Feet water station at the NYC Half. Cheers to runners and spectators.
Plugs and hydration. Very nice. Channel 7 is the home of the 2017 NYC Half. You can watch it live on Sunday morning beginning at 7 o'clock and streamed live on ABC-7NY.
This NYC Half by the Mile is sponsored by Sandals.
Sandals. More quality inclusions than any other resorts on the planet. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Jeopardy has a clue for you.
Catherine Zeta-Jones sang I Can't Do It Alone in this 2002 musical.
Play along.
Tonight at 7, right here on ABC-7.
Wow, that's a Chevy?
The most awarded lineup in the industry has people at a loss for words. Well, almost.
Oh, wow. The pedals here?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
I could go test drive one right now.
Wow. This is it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Experience the wow factor. Take home an award-winning Chevy today.
Current qualified competitive lessees can get this Chevy Cruze for around $169 a month. See your local Chevy dealer.
Time Warner Cable is now Spectrum, redefining what a cable company can be, giving you the power to turn any night into a movie night with over 200 channels available in stunning HD and thousands of titles free on demand, all for $29.99 a month when you call 844-349-2999. Plus, get the freedom to surf, stream, post, and game from all your devices with Spectrum Internet, delivering the fastest starting speeds, 100 megabits per second, with no data caps and a free modem. Just $29.99 a month. Then connect with family and friends near and far with unlimited nationwide calling and unlimited calling to Canada, Puerto Rico, and Mexico with no added taxes or fees. Get Spectrum Voice for just $29.99 a month when you call 844-349-2999. All with no contracts and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get the power of Spectrum. Call 844-349-2999.
Let NYC Quits be your partner to quit smoking. We've helped thousands of New Yorkers quit. Now it's your turn. Plan a smoke-free life with our support. For a limited time, get free patches and gum. Call 866-NY-QUITS or visit nysmokefree.com.
Eyewitness News needs your help to protect our children. Have you seen Katarina? ABC7 and Bob's Discount Furniture thank you for helping protect our children.
An accident sent a car flying through a Verizon store on Long Island. Amazingly, no customers were hurt. This accident happened about noon in Jericho. Witnesses say 2 cars were rear-ended. Both went airborne, and one of them went into the Verizon store. Both drivers suffered minor injuries. It is unclear whether icy roads played a role in this accident.
A federal grand jury in New York indicted the man accused of making bomb threats against at least 8 Jewish community centers across the United States. Federal marshals will bring 31-year-old Juan Thompson from St. Louis to New York for a court appearance in Lower Manhattan. Court documents say Thompson emailed the threats using his name and his ex-girlfriend's name.
And actress Misha Barton is speaking out after she claims she became a victim of so-called revenge porn. Barton says her ex-boyfriend and people working with him attempted to sell sexually explicit videos featuring her. She says she filed a police report and got an attorney to stop the distribution of the images. But Barton says she still feels humiliated by the ordeal.
My absolute worst fear was realized when I learned that someone I thought I loved and trusted was filming my most intimate and private moments without my consent with hidden cameras.
Wow, a court order prevents Barton's ex from contacting her. It also blocks the sale or distribution of any naked pictures or video of her.
Coming up, fighting fire and battling ice. Firefighters in Westchester County still on the scene of a deadly fire more than 12 hours later. How the frigid temperatures made this fire especially hard to contain.
And we've got video just into our newsroom of the suspect wanted for lobbing a Molotov cocktail at an NYPD cruiser.
And we're seeing the aftermath of a massive pileup on icy roads involving more than 50 cars.
In 2 days, see the movie critics are praising.
That's wonderful. I'm too excited.
It's visually stunning.
It's outrageously attractive, isn't it?
Even better than the original.
It's time to sparkle!
Emma Watson is a pitch-perfect Belle. Rated PG, Friday.
Upstate New York is a good place to pursue your dreams. At Vicarious Visions, I get to be creative, work with awesome people, and we get to make great games. What I like about the area feels like everybody knows each other, and I can go to my local coffee shop and they know who I am. It's really cool.
New York State is filled with bright minds like Lisa's. To find the companies and talent of tomorrow, search for our page, Jobs in New York State, on LinkedIn.
For millions of baby boomers, there's a serious virus out there that's been almost forgotten. It's hepatitis C. 1 in 30 boomers has hep C, yet most don't even know it, because it can hide in your body for years without symptoms, and it's not tested for in routine blood work. The CDC recommends all baby boomers get tested. If you have hep C, it can be cured. For us, it's time to get tested. Ask your healthcare provider for the simple blood test. It's the only way to know for sure.
Maestros lead with confidence, exactness, inspiration. At GMC, we're in tune with that degree of precision. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the GMC Acadia. The next generation SUV has arrived. Current lessees switch to GMC and get this low-mileage lease on this 2017 Acadia SLE1 for around $259 per month. GMC, we are professional grade.
New York's best problem solvers fight for you and get results. Call or email 7 on your side for help. And we're always listening on social media because Channel 7 is on your side.
Here's a look at tonight's top stories. A man stabbed several times after a dispute on the number 6 train. It happened this afternoon at the Pelham Bay Park Station. The 58-year-old victim suffered stab wounds to his head, back, and stomach. The suspect is on the run.
One person hurt when a piece of ice fell off a high-rise in Midtown. The man was taken to the hospital. The same thing happened at the same building 3 years ago.
And it'll be a long cleanup in parts of New Jersey. Vernon Township in Sussex County got more than 20 inches of snow from the nor'easter. One plow actually got stuck earlier today.
And a fatal fire today at a high-rise apartment building in Westchester County. The flames broke out early this morning, and at this hour, firefighters are still on the scene dealing with that fire.
The fire happened on Hawley Terrace in Yonkers, and as Eyewitness News reporter Tim Fleischer tells us, the cold weather and the building's height created problems for firefighters. Tim?
And Joe and Diana, the fire operation here is starting to wind down quite a bit. You can see many of the firemen have pulled out of this operation, and they're starting some of the cleanup. But earlier in the afternoon, they were in the upper floors of this building trying to put out the last of this smoldering fire.
We're getting companies in there to methodically go through the top floor, put out hidden pockets of fire.
A stubborn fire for Yonkers firefighters battling this blaze with flames shooting out of windows and quickly chewing through the upper floors in the early morning hours. Most residents rousted from their beds.
The firemen said originally just stay in your apartment. They went out the second time and they said, get out.
My neighbor woke me up to pounding on the door saying fire, fire. So when I opened the door, there was just smoke everywhere, and I just grabbed what I could and ran up the door.
From the start, this fire proved to be a difficult one to battle. Flames shooting out of upper floor windows then got up into the building's cockloft, allowing it to spread along the roof. Now at 4 alarms, the frigid weather also created problems.
We encountered a frozen hydrant earlier. We had to bring water from probably about half a mile away.
18 fire companies were dispatched, a force of 80 firefighters working this fire from all sides. The 8-story setback building was also higher than the department's tallest ladders.
It looks like it started on the 5th floor, but I don't know the apartment of origin. And unfortunately, that's where we had a fatality, on the 5th floor.
All other residents got out safely and have been relocated to an armory in Yonkers.
We're on the other side of the building. We're on the top floor. So we're waiting and hoping that they stop it before, you lose. You don't want to think about what you're going to lose.
Most of the interior, fire officials say, is made of wood material, and the damage has caused some portions of the building to be compromised.
All the wooden members on the top, so some of that top floor, the brick is just freestanding.
And now, at this point, they're going to have to determine just how much of that building has been compromised. Reporting live in Yonkers, Tim Fleischer, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Tim, thank you. New video. A man threw a Molotov cocktail right in the direction of a parked NYPD vehicle. It happened just before 3 this morning in the New Brighton section of Staten Island. Police say an officer on patrol saw what happened and stepped on the Molotov cocktail to extinguish it. The officers then chased the suspect, who got away. Thankfully, the Molotov cocktail did not cause any damage. So far, no arrests. The 21-year-old passenger in a car involved in a hit-and-run accident in Queens has died from his injuries. Police are searching for 19-year-old Aiden Camacho. Detectives say he was behind the wheel of a car that veered out of control and slammed into a parked vehicle, then hit a tree in Woodhaven on March 12th. Investigators say Camacho ran away. Authorities have not yet released the victim's name.
A warning about a scam in Connecticut. The police chief in Greenwich says someone is pretending to be him.
This is Jim Heavey of the Greenwich Police Department, and I want to assure you that we are not doing any telephone solicitations at this time. And if you receive suspicious phone calls, it is more than likely a scam.
Yeah, that is the real chief, James Heavey, and he's sending out an advisory to residents in the area. He says the scammers are asking for money to support a police organization. Heavey is asking anyone who receives any of these fake calls to contact police. The snowstorm postponing the sentencing of two of Governor Christie's former aides convicted in the Bridgegate scandal. Bill Baroni and Bridget Ann Kelly were supposed to be sentenced today, but it was delayed because of yesterday's storm. They will now be sentenced on March 29th. They were convicted in November for their roles in shutting down several lanes on the George Washington Bridge back in 2013.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says the brunt of yesterday's storm hit more to the north and west than expected, so he redeployed resources for the cleanup. Broome County and here in our area, Dutchess County were especially hard hit. Take a look at this car, entirely buried under snow in Binghamton. Up to 41 inches of snow fell across a region stretching from Lake Erie's eastern shore to the Hudson Valley. So the governor redeployed assets from New York City and Long Island to those areas.
For Poughkeepsie and Beacon, we're going to redeploy an additional 100 National Guard and an additional 100 pieces of equipment.
The governor has now lifted all remaining travel bans across roadways in New York State. And in Canada, take a look at this mess on a snowy highway in Quebec. Wow. A pileup involving as many as 50 cars shut down the roadway yesterday. 4 people were rushed to the hospital, including 2 pregnant women. Police say everyone is expected to be okay. Authorities responded to more than 100 car crashes around Quebec during the storm.
And we got some road issues around our area right now. We've been tracking the squall line since Eyewitness was first at 4, and it's from Freehold to Neptune. It's headed toward Vista Center, Howell, and also Wall, down to Brick, New Jersey as well. It comes down hard, reduces visibility, drops a quick coating to 1 inch of snow. To the north, still some snow showers scattered about from New York City to Long Island, back to the north and west as well. Now, looking at the overall temperature pattern, you can see that the cold air is wedged in the northeast, and it's not going anywhere. We have some sights to a warm up down the road. I'll give you a time frame for that, and a little snow over the weekend as well. AccuWeather's coming up next.
The weather's been like crazy, right?
Oh, right. Also ahead, staying safe on thin ice, how some New Yorkers are dealing with the after effects of our nor'easter.
And later, one of the biggest criminal busts in New York State history, the elaborate scheme involving some pricey products you might not expect.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Raymore and Flanagan. For the closest location, visit raymoreflanagan.com.
I just picked up the cake for the baby shower. Yay! You know she's having a boy, right? Oh, boy.
Buick now has an SUV for that. Introducing the new Buick Encore.
I knew I could trust you guys with the cake. Oh, no problem. That was close.
One of 3 luxury SUVs from the new Buick.
Buick celebrates March Madness.
In front of you that you're not seeing. But it's the first thing you'll feel.
Define your home with Marvin Windows and Doors and Millwood Lumber. Visit Millwood Lumber in Millwood, New York today, or find us online at millwoodlumber.com.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't. But for years, I didn't do anything about it. I thought I didn't have the money until I learned about Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure and make you a new custom bathtub that they install right over your existing one with beautiful matching walls. That means you don't have to rip out your old tub, so there's no demolition or ridiculous costs. And they do it all in just one day. That's my favorite part. Plus, you get to choose everything. Here's a before and after photo. This is a gorgeous acrylic tub that fit right over the old one. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantee a watertight fit. When you change your tub, you change your bathroom. That can change your life. I know because I did it.
Save 50% on all acrylic accessories with your purchase of a complete Bathfitter system. This is a limited time offer, so call now at 866-601-BATH.
You could be this guy, able to carry everything in one trip because he uses his feet to open the hands-free sliding door and liftgate on his all-new Chrysler Pacifica. Or you could be that guy, whose team had to forfeit because he was late bringing the equipment. Get your all-new Chrysler Pacifica at the spring clearance event. Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get an ultra-low mileage lease on the 2017 Chrysler Pacifica for $249 a month.
You're talking about accusing the vice president of being involved in one of the greatest crimes in history.
The takedown.
He'll make a mistake, and when he does, he's mine.
America has been waiting for. No! All new Designated Survivor tonight on ABC.
Grace Jesse Williams plus Jessica Lange from Feud.
Where big drama meets big eyebrows.
Next live.
Tomorrow morning at 9 on ABC 7.
The team to watch is on Channel 7 Eyewitness News at 6.
We are following some breaking news and take a look at this video. Late this afternoon, 2 vehicles struck a bus in Elizabeth, New Jersey. There were 7 students on the bus. Emergency workers rushed them to the hospital with minor injuries. Police then chased down a man who ran off after the crash. He was taken into custody. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim is in Elizabeth trying to hammer out all the details. He will have a live report coming up at 6 o'clock.
The U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is in Japan tonight, all part of an overseas tour. Tillerson arrived in Tokyo today for the first leg of the trip, coming amid escalating tensions with North Korea. In an unusual move, a reporter from a conservative website is the only media member invited on Tillerson's Asian tour. The department originally had said that Tillerson would not take any journalists with him.
A hearing now underway in federal court in Seattle regarding President Trump's revised travel ban just hours before it's set to take effect. Meanwhile, in Hawaii, a federal judge there says he will issue a written order on the executive order tonight. The judge in Hawaii also hearing arguments today from both sides in that case. More than half a dozen states are trying to stop the ban.
The expert whose children burst into a room during his interview with the BBC says he's glad that his family blooper made so many people laugh.
We thought it was a disaster. I immediately called or texted or emailed the BBC. I communicated with the BBC immediately afterwards, and I apologized to them. I said that if they never called us back or never asked me to be on television again, I would understand.
Aw, that's not a problem. Kelly says he thinks the video struck a chord with people around the world because he has a real family. And his wife, she says she's not offended that some people thought she was the nanny. She hopes the video raises awareness about multicultural families. Actress and director Angelina Jolie can add another title to her resume. Students at the prestigious London School of Economics will be calling her Professor Jolie in September. The 41-year-old will be teaching a master's course at the Center for Women, Peace and Security. She told a London newspaper that she's a little bit nervous, but she says the lecture is important to her.
You think that class will be popular? A quick-thinking McDonald's employee jumped right out of a drive-through window to help save a woman suffering a medical emergency. That woman was an off-duty Miami-Dade police officer who had 2 children in the car. Pedro Valoria said she pulled up and paid without a problem, but when he returned to the window with their food, he realized something was wrong and jumped out of the window to help.
I see she's like inflating her neck, like trying to breathe, and I immediately thought something was going wrong.
An off-duty paramedic and another off-duty officer also jumped into action. First responders performed CPR and used a machine to help revive that woman.
Boy, got out that window just like that. Amazing. A daring rescue for a rookie firefighter plunging from a building as flames shoot out of the window. We'll hear from this hero about the decision that's now impacting his wedding day.
And how this roller coaster winter season is affecting Washington, D.C.'s famous cherry blossoms.
How's the pool?
Introducing the QX60 from Infiniti. Lease the all-wheel drive Infiniti QX60 for $409 a month. Visit your tri-state Infiniti retailer.
There is one place that you can count on to help you save time, save money. ShopRite.
A large can of Maxwell House coffee or Maxwell House K-Cups only $5.99. At ShopRite, we're all about food. We're all about savings. We're all about you.
It's just a date.
stay?
I'm good.
I won't be late.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
No kissing on the first date, all right?
Life doesn't always stick to a plan, but with our investment expertise, we'll help you handle what's next. Financial guidance while you're mastering life. From Chase, so you can.
Hey, what are you here for? Getting poked, prodded, or pinched?
Yeah, colon cancer screening.
Hey, me too. Second time. It's a piece of cake.
That sounds good right now.
It's no big deal.
That's what everyone tells me.
Today, there is more than one way to screen for colon cancer, and it's easier than ever.
If you're 50 or older, talk with your healthcare provider and choose the best test for you.
If you're 50 or older, get screened for colon cancer.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and your local Good Neighbor Pharmacy wants to help raise awareness about colorectal disease.
Colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the U.S.
If detected early, the cure rate is more than 90%.
This month, your local Good Neighbor Pharmacy is offering free screening kits for this disease.
Pick up your free test kit today. It could save your life.
Visit mygnp.com/colorectal screening.
Wow, that's a Chevy?
The most awarded lineup in the industry has people at a loss for words. Well, almost.
Oh, wow. The pedals there?
Wow. Are you kidding me? I could go test drive one right now.
Wow. This is it.
Oh, wow.
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 Experience the wow factor. Take home an award-winning Chevy today.
Current select qualified competitive lessees can get this Chevy Equinox for around $130 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Why are you slowing down?
Yeah, this is what can happen if you drive a truck across a frozen lake in Canada. Two people learned the hard way that it might not be a good idea when the ice broke and plunged their truck into the chilly waters, cold waters of Lake Winnipeg. The two people in the truck were not hurt, but the truck, yeah, it's still submerged under the ice.
And that does hurt.
Yeah, that would put a damper on your weekend.
Yes, it sure would. Okay, from that to Washington, and the beautiful cherry blossoms could actually be in trouble.
No.
Yeah, the National Park Service says they have found widespread damage after that last blast of frigid temperatures. The cherry blossoms still expected to peak next week. However, if you're planning to head down to D.C., you may see fewer trees in bloom.
Probably the 60-degree weather before the storm might have had something to do with the fact that the cherry blossoms thought it was time.
Right, and you know, this up and down weather, it's not good for the trees. It gives the trees a really hard time because they just
they can't
get
recover.
used to the up and down temperatures. They're ready to bloom. They're ready to do their thing.
They thought it was spring.
Yep. The Sanitation Department has been working on overdrive to keep streets and sidewalks clear in the wake of yesterday's nor'easter, but navigating the ice and the slush, it is not an easy task, especially for New Yorkers. Lauren Glassberg has some tips that'll keep you on your toes.
From chipping to shoveling, physical labor was required to get around today, even when it came to navigating the sidewalks. We got a little mound here. What's your approach?
I just hop over them, you know, I got good legs, so I just hop over the mound.
Just like that, but for some, it was more like mountain climbing, something Flora Douglas wanted to avoid when it came to catching the bus.
I'm gonna try to cut through this little spot right here that's open and kind of wait in the street so when it does come, I don't have to kind of jump over.
You've got a strategy.
Yeah, strategy everywhere, because I don't want to go down.
No one wants to go down, and no one wants to get stuck either, like this big truck or Yakuba Buddha, who is digging out.
This is more than exercise.
He doesn't even plan to drive today, but digging out is part of his plan.
I'm not going to try to move the car today, but if I don't clear it, tomorrow it's going to be worse. So that's why, you know, if it's stuck, that's what I'm trying to do.
This is your strategy.
Yeah.
And there's this. Once you finally get the car out and get where you're going, you then have to get yourself out of the car somehow without killing yourself. So stay home, if possible. In the Bronx, Lauren Glassberg, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Very agile, Lauren.
Yep.
Well, you guys were talking about the cherry blossoms, too.
Yes, we were.
If you don't have to go to D.C., we've got April 8th will be Branch Brook Park in New Jersey, one of the biggest collections in the country. And then Sakura Matsuri is at Brooklyn Botanic Garden. That'll be late April. And our trees are in good shape, even though we had some early warmth. Snow squall in Freehold, New Jersey. If you were in Freehold sending this, see how visibilities go down and it gets very, very heavy? Now, we have pretty good visibility in Manhattan with just a couple of flurries. There's a new snowpack over Central Park. We're at 25, super cold. And you can see that we've got just rounds of Arctic air coming in the wake of our nor'easter. It's going to keep us below normal for the foreseeable future. As we go through the evening hours tonight, flurries will end, clouds, more sun tomorrow, and still a decent wind, and it'll be in the 30s. So there is that squall line. Look at how organized that is. You normally see that upstate. Meanwhile, it's just went through Neptune. It's settling toward Brick, and it's back toward Monroe, just south of Marble, head toward Jackson. 195 is going to get a little dangerous to drive on. So if you don't have to head out for the next hour or so, that'll end. But it keeps reforming here through parts of Hunterdon, southern Somerset, Middlesex, Monmouth, and northern Ocean. Just be aware of that. The rest of the area just flurries. These will diminish after sunset. Some breaks in the clouds overnight, very, very cold. And then, as I said, more sunshine tomorrow, still brisk. But after the morning hours, which are pretty harsh, the wind chills, I think, in the morning, which are single digits and lower teens, will be in the 20s during the afternoon. And with more sun, as you feel a little bit better, here's your 7-day AccuWeather forecast. You've got 35 degrees tomorrow and nothing more than a stray flurry around. Okay, as we go into Friday, there's a lot of sunshine. We should be about 40, and with less wind, that's going to feel pretty good. Again, we're going to go through this routine of sort of a refreeze overnight each night, so be careful of that. Over the weekend, it's another clipper. Look for rain or snow showers on Saturday. More nuisance than anything else. But that clipper gets a little stronger off the coast. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some lighter snows that have a small accumulation into early Sunday. That's implications for the New York City half. There could be some snow showers. It is going to be very cold, by the way. That 42 would be a late day high. Spring on Monday. Take a deep breath. 44, sunshine. Couple showers on Tuesday. And then it's back to blustery again on Wednesday. Had to lower that high into the upper 30s. So it looks to me like we have a cold pattern for the next 10 days, and then figure out, if mark it on your calendar, but the 25th or 26th, we turn the corner, and then the last few days of March are nice, might be wet, but then we warm up into early April. So it's another 10 days. This is what happens after a warm February.
All right.
All right.
We're going to have to deal with it. It's not like we can change it.
It's amazing.
Okay. All right, Lee, thank you. Yep. Have you guys seen this story? A rookie firefighter caught on camera saving the lives of 5 people during a raging fire in an apartment building in South Korea. The firefighter blocked the flames with his back so others could jump out of the window on the 3rd floor. He waited until everyone was out of the apartment building before jumping out of the burning building himself. The firefighter broke a hip in the fall, but no one was killed thanks to his bravery.
한 임무가 시민들의 생명을 구하는 일이다 보니까 어떤 걸 지식적인 부분보다는 그런 사명감이 있었기 때문에 그렇게 순간적으로 행동하지 않았나.
The firefighter, he's only been on the job for 2 months. He won't be able to walk down the aisle for his wedding, which is scheduled for next month. What a hero.
Yeah, still ahead. It's being called Operation Sticky Fingers, a multi-million-dollar bust in New York that hit consumers in their wallets nationwide.
Catch this make-your-own takeout with star Mireille Enos. Next, Rachel.
Tomorrow morning at 10 on ABC-7.
This NYC half moment is presented by Acura. After running more than 12.5 miles in a tightly bunched pack with international medalists Joyce Chepkarui and Sally Kipyego, New York native Molly Huddle pulled away from her Kenyan challengers on the incline exiting the Battery Park underpass to cross the finish line in 68:31, becoming the first ever American champion of the United Airlines New York City half. Watch the NYC half, Sunday starting at 7 a.m. on ABC-7.
It just feels like anything's possible here in upstate New York. At Corning, I test smart glass that goes all over the world. But there's no place like home. There's always something different to do, like skiing in the winter, jet skiing in the summer. We can do everything.
New York State is filled with bright minds like Samantha's. To find the companies and talent of tomorrow, search for our page, Jobs in New York State, on LinkedIn.
We count on them every day to connect, to perform, to share. And when they need to be replaced, folks count on Mavis Discount Tire to get low prices on the largest selection of tires. Because you never know when the money you save on tires can turn into a game-changing memory. Mavis Discount Tire, saving people money for over 50 years. How's that new FiOS deal working out for you?
The $79.99 deal? They charge $10 a month for a modem.
2 boxes cost me $22 more a month. Yeah, DVR service is another $20 a month. And I didn't get my sports channels.
Don't be fooled by the FiOS deal that's loaded with charges and missing a bunch of channels.
All those taxes and fees, they're wired differently, all right.
Switch to Spectrum and get our best deal ever on TV, internet, and voice. Call today.
Wow, that's a Chevy?
The most awarded lineup in the industry has people at a loss for words. Well, almost.
Oh, wow. The pedals fit?
Wow. Are you kidding me? I could go test drive one right now.
Wow.
This is it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Experience the wow factor. Take home an award-winning Chevy today.
Current qualified competitive lessees can get this Chevy Malibu for around $199 a month. Visit your local Chevy dealer.
Stay with ABC7 at 7 for Jeopardy and Wheel. Then at 8, The Goldbergs, Speechless, Modern Family, Blackish, and Designated Survivor at 10. Followed by New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News at 11. Only on ABC7.
Finally, all new at 5 o'clock, a massive retail crime ring busted in Manhattan.
12 people under arrest accused of raking in $12 million in stolen computer products. The scheme used code words like boosters, bazookas, and kryptonite. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson has more on how authorities cracked the case.
This looks like any other building here in Manhattan. I'm on West 112th Street, but officials say it was headquarters for an organized crime ring, a sophisticated illegal operation that was run with military-like precision.
At the time they were securing the premises, UPS arrived with 5 boxes more of merchandise that was being delivered to him at that time.
Sent to Richard Rimbaugh, the alleged kingpin of a multi-million-dollar criminal operation run out of the 64-year-old's first-floor apartment here on West 112th Street. The so-called general of the ring is now in custody, along with 11 others referred to as captains, lieutenants, and sergeants. The takedown, dubbed Operation Sticky Fingers, a nearly year-long investigation by New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman.
This is what we call enterprise corruption. If an individual member dropped out, they would replace them with someone else.
Officials say this map was found in one of the suspects' homes. The push pins mark each and every store across the nation that Rimbaugh and his crew allegedly targeted. Staples, Best Buy, and other retailers in 28 states. Authorities maintain the suspects wearing custom-made vests like this one that can hold lots of stuff would then strap on this device, which deactivates security alarms in stores.
The theft crews could steal up to $45,000 worth of retail merchandise on a single mission.
Step 2 of this operation, officials say out of his home in Morningside Heights, Rimbaugh then sold the stolen merchandise online under his fake business called American Media Soft.
This may cost retailers up to $30 billion a year. That gets passed on to customers. That's a lot of money.
It wasn't just electronics. Officials say the suspects even stole flea collars, yes, as in for pets. If convicted, each defendant faces up to 25 years in prison. Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Wow.
Well, elaborate.
There's so much more ahead.
Eyewitness News at 6 starts right now.
This is New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News with Bill Ritter and Liz Cho. Ryan Field with sports. And Lee Goldberg with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 6.
I just knew. I knew when I turned around. I knew what I was going to see.
A widow's heartbreaking testimony. She describes watching her husband's murder as they shopped at the Short Hills Mall in New Jersey. But first, a car crashes into a school bus. Kids are on board that bus. The story doesn't end with the crash. And good evening to you at 6 o'clock. I'm Liz Cho.
And I'm Bill Ritter. A chain reaction accident in New Jersey and a police pursuit may have been part of it.
School children were taken to the hospital. One man is now under arrest and an active scene in the city of Elizabeth.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim live in Elizabeth with our lead story tonight. Stefan.
Well, Bill and Liz, this wild sequence of events started with what police say was a police pursuit and ended with a suspect in custody. It happened here at the intersection of Madison and Fairmount Avenues around 3 o'clock today. We have surveillance video that shows us exactly what happened. There was a school bus stopped at a red light here when the suspect's vehicle crashes into a minivan. Then those two vehicles then slam into the school bus. You then see that suspect take off on foot and cops chasing closely behind him. Police say he dropped drugs on the ground along the way, and eventually when they apprehended him, they say he had a substantial amount of drugs on him as well. Now, as for any injuries that resulted from this crash, there were 7 special needs students on that school bus. According to school officials, they were not injured physically, but were very